Let's see. Right. So, in a few minutes, I'm going to continue the Palace of the Dead run as we played it last week. There isn't much to prepare since we did all the preparation from last week. The main things that I did add is that the potsherds that we found and some leftover potsherds I had from previously I spent on these sustaining potions that we will probably need for the higher floors. We did end up using one during some of the last floors last week on a boss, so I expect we will need some more. Although, I don't know, maybe 380 is a bit excessive. Well, I'll probably start half past, but there's a chance that anyone that wants to come along for the very start gets the opportunity to. Do let me know if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about in the chat, as always. It makes it more fun. And just a moment. Right, let's go. I'm not sure I want to use the alteration. We have plenty of pomanders, so we can probably get by without. I'll just focus on exploring. We have the exit, so just clear the room. And then we'll look into the rooms nearby. Oh, the enemy is actually hitting hard enough that it's worth being a little bit careful. Uh-oh. Ah, dang it. Oh, that's a really bad start. We only have one cleanse left in case we find another mimic, but that's not great. That's really not great. Oh well, so far it's probably gonna be fine. Oh, dang it. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Shouldn't have been so greedy. Treasure? Nope, it's witching. We can also exit. Makes more sense. 2 minutes for the first floor. So, that's pretty good. Gives us like an extra half a minute for every next floor for the rest of the set. Let's see. Silver chest, gold chest. Command of steel. That is one we like to replenish. What's this? It's a dead end. We don't want that. We continue on to the other side. Oh, and that this is potentially the smallest floor I've ever seen. We might have to go back to the other room to get enough. Maybe? Yeah, absolutely. That's annoying. This floor's gonna maybe end up taking longer than the previous one. Even with a mimic. Oh. 1.5 minutes for a floor. That's even better. Well, see, golden chest. Oh, extra steel. We use that. I wonder if we're gonna find any particularly difficult parts on this set. As long as I don't pull 2. Next. Oh, we might unlock the exit really fast on this floor. And all I wanted was to get to the other room. What's this? Moment of strength. That's great. Again, exactly what we want. That's in here. Bronze chest. Oh, and a dragon. Those shoot back at us, even when we're not in combat. That's an interesting fact to keep in mind. Titan. Can we get the door open? Maybe we can get the door open. Nope. Nope. Back to the other room. Back to the other room. Now I have to dodge dragon fireballs while fighting an enemy, I think. Right? Come on, flame dragon. Show me. There it is. Can we get the exit? Oh, yep, that's the exit. It's excellent. Go to... since the room is empty, we can go and get the treasure. And... witching. Nope. Can't get the treasure. I just exit. It's very lucky no enemies spawned while I was checking the chest. Two treasures. Interesting. Serenity is useless on this floor. Refresh on steel. That's probably a good idea. This is a dead end. I'm not coming back to this room. See if we can sneak by these enemies. So we find the bare minimum. Oh, nope. Couldn't have that. In that case, You both will die. And another resolution. The resolutions aren't particularly helpful until like floor 90s. Another one of these super short floors. It's really weird. Oop. Is that the... oh, that's the exit. Then I don't want to fight the bomb. Mind of racing. And we have on 3 on those, so we start getting to use some. And 5 floors in 52 minutes. And another refresh on steel. Really nice. This might just last us the rest of the run, or the rest of the set. Affluence, that's very nice. Some more chests for the rest of the floors, or for the next floor. Oh, that guy. And the exit is in the floor too, of this room. Might as well just clear it. Oh, and the exit is open. Really? Oh, and we get the racing, the super safe. That's really helpful. Then we can. Oh, speaking of really helpful, come fight me then. Oh boy. The first big trap. The first trap even, and then the trap is a really dangerous one. Is there anything worth going for in this room, this floor? No. No, 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 no. That's... we're 86. So... 4 more floors? 5 more floors. We're halfway. And is this 4 floors in a row where we've started by being handed steel? I'm pretty sure it is. Just every floor is just... oh, here's your commensurate steel pomander. Enjoy. Don't be afraid of the enemies. They can't hurt you. And we carefully check the chest room. Witching, that's great. The refresh. This 2 witching. Is this also witching? Do we spy 3 witching? Oh no, rage. Rage, that's fun. We can do rage. We can do some oh, that's a lucky rage. It's a very lucky rage. I take a moment and not being careful, and I step on the one trap. Hello. Bonk. Okay, okay, that's a bit scary actually. I'm not gonna mess with that. You're not invulnerable when you have the rage. You just hit really hard. So that's a little tip if you're playing in a group. Give the rage to the tank usually. For the first many lower floors, you can definitely pass the rage to whoever knows like the strategy best. Like often in your groups there'll be someone that knows best how to do Palace of the Dead, the most experienced. They can use the rage. But if you get to the really high floors, I actually really want this strength. I want this strength. It's worth it. I'm gonna take it. Then as you get to the higher floors, you should consider making sure that all the rage commanders go on the tank. That makes it much easier. Mainly because anyone else is likely to die if you pull more than a few enemies. Especially once you get past the 100. Oh, no, just a flame dragon. And the fancy steel of the floor. Oh. And we can that bronze chest could be another pot shirt. That's probably a good idea to go for it, because that's specifically a thing that we can bring to the far later floors. Ow, 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 ow. And it's a max potion. Nah, that also works. We have like 45 minutes to do 3 floors, including a boss. It's gonna be good. And we have haste floor. And we have found the exit. That's nice. It's funny how it just becomes like a speedrun mode as soon as you get to these floors at max level. It's a really different experience very quickly. Oh. I'm just gonna check the treasure. Safety. Get rid of those traps for me. Let's see. Now we have to go far away from the... Okay, that is... I'm pretty sure that's a silver chest. It's really hard in the light. Now we have to find some easy enemies to push to get the exit. Is it? Nope, that's not it. We'll fight the flame dragon. And there's the exit. It really looks like it could just as well be a bronze chest. I think it's the blue hue that gives it away as a silver chest. But this orange lighting really makes it difficult. 2 floors, right? 2 floors left. I think this is this might be the fastest set of floors. And nope, nothing here. Flame dragon, give me that fireball. Show me what you got. Okay. The exit is on the right, but there's a bronze chest all the way down at the other end. Let's see. It's not too bad to go, since we have to clear a lot of enemies anyway. It gives us something to aim for as we go. This. Site number 2. Oh boy. That's bad. I'm gonna use one of these sustaining potions just to be on the top of it. These are not the kind of enemies that you want to just run headfirst into. These Palace Chimeras have pretty much the entire moveset available to them of what's it called? Cotter's Cry. The final boss in Cotter's Cry. Just straight up carbon copies. Mostly it's down to whether they choose to use them. This is getting really messy. I think it might be a good idea to just exit since it has opened. It's a very long trip just for one bronze chest that might just end up being a max potion that we don't need. I have like 800 of those. We really don't need that. These chimeras are jumpy. Oh. They're the patrol guard on the floor. Can I sneak by? No, I don't get to sneak by. There's so much. So much. How did it come to this? How did it come to this? Just leave. Run. Run before more chimeras spawn. Run from the chimeras. I don't want them. I don't want them. And oh boy. This guy. What? This girl. God mother. Let's get the buffs. And let's get shield and lust. And let's go. So if I remember this boss correctly, you really have to respect the ads, because if you don't, they'll explode and you wipe immediately. But until then, I'll just see how long I can get by just keeping this vulnerability debuff up, because we're gonna need it. This might also be the time that we wipe. I haven't been this far alone before. Ocean. Yeah. That's scary. It's really scary. Sustain potion. Let's do that. A really good idea to bring a bunch of those. It's so much healing. A new shield. It's excellent. Oh, and the ad. Let's see that army of ads you spawned before, right? You did that. And let's get this. Another one? Wait, what's she doing? I have a feeling this might be it. But on the off chance that it isn't an instant death. Oh. Wait. Well, that's tough. So that was the racing. Okay. Let's think. Just gonna see what I'm dealing with now that I have the weakness debuff anyway. Oh. Okay, I messed it up. I was supposed to use the blue bomb to stop her. Well, We're probably gonna need these buffs again. So once the weakness debuff runs out, we will get the buffs and go again. And then that will put us in a worse position for the next set of floors, because we'll need to get a lot more strength and steel to be able to get them on a regular basis. Strength, steel, shield, lust. Let's go. I completely misunderstood the blue ad. That was supposed to save me, apparently. Oi. I'm gonna go a little bit longer with this. Boom. Boom. Go for this. Right. Now. It really helps when you know what the boss fight is, right? Let's use a sustain potion now. Better to be ahead on that, since it does take a little bit to go through the full healing. When are you doing the blue guy? When are you doing the blue guy? Now? Oh. There it is. Right, so we do this. Oh. And then we make a point of not doing any AoE. Excellent. Now we get to live. I was so confident this was gonna work that I didn't even use any racing. I did have enough time to pull one. It ended up being necessary. I think we're getting to the end. I just saw the vulnerability debuff even ran out. So it was really important that the lust lasted as long as it could. And the grand finale. Oh, there it is. Floor 90. Go directly onward to floor 91. See. We have plenty of everything we need. Echo drops and everything. We just proceed immediately. Now it's even more important that we start grabbing as many treasures as we can, because we're really behind on strength and steel. And lust, for that matter. Every single golden chest we can have, I want. And that's out. We also want bronze chests, of course. We always want bronze chests. It's possible every single enemy we fight in like the last 50 floors is gonna require a sustaining potion, each individually. The exit is there, no golden chests. In that case I will explore the other way first. It's not something here. It's where we started, right? I think that's where we started. We fight this. I want your golden chest. Are you a mimic? You are a resolution. It's not quite yet. We haven't seen any undead enemies. So it's okay. That's an undead enemy. And bronze chest is max potion. Gold chest is a mimic. Awesome, I love that. Oh man, it's just barely gonna get its attack off too. Oh man. Sight. We might be okay. We might be able to just tank it. I really need to keep like one of those pox removals in the back in case it gets really bad. Wonder what I can do to keep it at bay. And the exit isn't open yet. We continue to the exit. To clear the enemies there instead. You know, if we were a job that didn't have any self-healing, this would be a much bigger disaster. Okay, for a second there I thought it was completely stuck. Just watching me kill it. Just use a potion. Get on with it. There's 4 minutes for the first floor. A bit worse time than last. That was 2 minutes. In the previous set. Oh, blinded? Oh, that purity. Nice. Well, we've already survived a full floor of pox, so I think we'll be fine. I think we might be okay. Just tanking it. Okay, maybe not when we're gonna miss this much. That's not fun. That's not fair. I will not have it. This is a great time to bring a service reminder that oh boy, that run from screams. The knockback penalty makes the Pomander of Rage useless, so don't use it if you're on a floor with knockback immunity. It will not work. So we finally got our Purity Pomanders refilled. So now, in hindsight, I should probably have used that. I should probably have used it. That's a very convenient part about being lower level summoner, is that you can use the Carbuncle abilities even while using Dreadworm Trance. Can't do that at level 70. The weirdest kind of tech. Your Carbuncle casts your shield, so when you get fancier summons, you lose it. So many instant casts, it's very nice. But what I wouldn't give for an interrupt or a stun right now. Apparently the Godmother on the previous boss floor could have been stunned out of its burst, and then we would have just gotten away with it that way, instead of worrying about its ad. Oh dear. These enemies are starting to get a little threatening. Or maybe it's just all the debuffs. Should really just focus on getting out of this floor. Everything misses, everything misses. And the return is ready. I wonder what dictates which one gets ready first. Because it seems a bit random. Silver chest. We don't want that. Next floor. How far are we? Completely missed. Lost track. 93. So 8 minutes for 2 floors cleared. That's fine. Flight? Sure. Don't need any enemies. Oh. As few as we can have would be nice. Where's the exit? Oh man. Oh, there's a wraith. Bring him in here. Fight him away from the mummy. When you're casting Scream, it's probably your next thing, right? You hit really hard, friend. Another sustaining potion. A really good idea to buy all those, when I think about it. This would have been a disaster if I didn't have those. Only 3 minutes left on the pox, and then we can start getting somewhere again. Toad trap. This could be very lethal if it hit just at the wrong time with the pox. Don't want to open the chest while we're fighting something else on the off chance that it's a mimic. What are you? Steel. Great. We need a lot of those. We just have a party room over here. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna give the other path a chance first. I don't like party rooms. Okay, there's nothing of value in there. Party room it is. This is gonna take a while to disarm. We may have to clear most of the room to get past. And even with a witching, it's just too dangerous to pull everything because we're a mage. In my opinion, at least. When we got 3 enemies at once, we actually still were threatened earlier from the trap. So the witching is mostly for emergencies, and then we hope it works. It's probably a lot more powerful for a tank. Treasure? Safety? Sure. Sure, why not? Is that? And we have a golden chest. I'm gonna try and get the golden chest if I can. As many of them as we can have. Due to how many things we lost earlier. To the godmother. Oh, this pox is going out soon. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. We can finally get somewhere. And fortune. After we killed like 10 enemies, we get the fortune. Thanks. Right. So, just for the record, 10 minutes after I suffered the pox all the way to its end, I got the third purity, so I hadn't needed to suffer it in the first place. Annoying. Is there a golden chest in here? No, and then we leave. And then we leave. Nope, the Horde. Resolution? Personally, I'm not super keen on using it. Maybe on the boss, that might be good. These iron cores are also undead, so it could also be useful for those. No. And treasure? Lost. Awesome. We kinda need more of those. Just getting this to not make waste of a cooldown. We also need to find the Horde, since it is on this floor. More fortune. More fortune. Let's go over. Oh, we want to dodge that rose lid. We already have all the kills we need for this floor. Time to play a little safe. What even is this? Another party room. The party room, exactly where I'm going. No. I need to go this way. We need to find the Horde. Are you in here, Horde? Wait, what? It's not? Oh. It was right there. And there's another intuition right here. Uh-oh. That's not fun. It's not fun. A scary trap combination. I shouldn't have been greedy. Thought I could skip both enemies and end up skipping none. Bonk. And another treasure over here. Rage. Bit useless now. Another resolution will come. I wonder if we should just try using it. It's in a dead end again. I don't want to go all the way back for just that. And this? More intuition. We already have intuition. And the Horde is not on this floor. So, no intuition. No intuition. Safety. Yes, please. Give me that safety. And Ifrit. And there's a patrol. Oh. Nice. Refill on the witching. That's great. Anything in here? Enemies and treasure. Well, silver treasure. We just want to get the enemies defeated so we can move on. That's not it. That's not it. Patrol? No. Now these roselets can be really annoying if you're melee. And we exit. Oh, no sprint, and all the enemies have buffs. Great. I wonder... What? That's insane. That's an insane amount of damage. Can you not do that? That's very surprising. I haven't seen that before. Ow. Ow. Okay. So. This is not the time to use a Serenity when I only have 2. We just want to see if we can survive this floor. So much damage. Well, at least we have found the exit. At least we have found the exit. Course. Random. Why did it not jump this time? It could have jumped this time. Wait, what? They hit so hard here. So hard. Entered the Club of Hard Knocks. Is this enough? I wonder if this is enough. Yes. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. The color of the room tells me that it's death. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Now we're back to only slightly deadly enemies. Much better. Wait, it did like it... Really? Let me just see. Oh, okay. For a second there I thought that the damage buff on the previous floor made them do like 80% or 200% damage even. It's just the shield confusing me. Oh. Oh, nice. Little patrol from the back. Now this is certainly the much harder section of the foot. Again? Really? That's a lot of patrols. Why am I clearing the rooms? I could just wait for the patrols to come to me. They're way easier. Oh, we have the exit. Another resolution. Oh. So we have 3 floors and 36 minutes. I think that's like 10 minutes slower than last time. Something like that. Something like that. There's a gold chest here? There's a gold chest here. What are you? A mimic? Your safety, thank you. I like safety. Oh. What drag? You? What? Oh, is that dragon? This dragon from the other room. What's this? Lost? Oh, we already got that maxed out again. That's good. I will check the other rooms first before going down this long side path. Hey, Gravekeeper! And there's the exit. Let's see what's down this path, just in case there's an easy treasure. There is not. Then we just need to clear the room, the exit room, get ready to exit. Hello, dragon. What do you want? It's not as threatening now that it doesn't have all the damage buffs and stuff. It still hurts. Still hurts. It's a strong boy. Ah. I think most of these enemies can be beaten with resolution. I just really, honestly don't like using it. Being stuck in those forms, so you can't open any chests. It just gets tedious because then you have to run back around to open things after the fact. Great. Great. Love respawns. Love respawns. What is in you? Sight. Nah, too late for that. Too late for that. You don't need no more sight. Oh, the horde is here. Wonder which side is better. Ow. Did that interrupt me? It looked like it interrupted my cast for a second. Okay, I'll leave. Gonna be like that, I'll just leave. It's so excessive. Sustaining potions. They're really strong. Is the horde in here? Does not appear to be in here. The exit is there. Is the horde there? Nope. When we go back around, I think we will have to fight the dragon. We probably will have to fight the dragon. Or maybe it's blind and deaf at the same time. Yes. Oh, there it is. We found the horde. Oh boy. That. It missed? Is this the creation chamber for these gravekeepers? This is crazy. Ow. Just 2,000 damage outright. Thank you. Oh. That was a big mistake. I don't want to play with that. It got really dangerously all of a sudden. That's what we have the witching for. Not to be greedy, but to save ourselves from being greedy. Now give me my loot. I deserve it. And now we go for the exit. Is the dragon in the way? Nope. Maybe we can sneak by. And then we go not straight for the, oh boy, straight for the exit. Hey Leon, I'm good. We've been in ups and downs in the Palace of the Dead. We had an unlucky death on the floor 90 boss, but on the other hand, luckily we had a Pomander of Rays, so we didn't wipe completely. How are you? Oh, we're at the halfway point. 30 minutes. 30 minutes for the boss. Now, if I remember correctly, resolution is really useful for this boss. Let's see. We're gonna need strength and steel. We're completely out of strength now. It's not the best situation to be in. Let's see, we want to use erasing just in case I make a huge mistake. Shield up. Sustaining potion, resolution. And here we go. I don't know how much help this is giving me, but it's supposed to be really good against the ads, I believe. So if he's gonna summon ads, it would be really nice if you did it like now. Okay, we're getting this. And then we out. Don't want that anymore. That was not super efficient. It was not good. Not good. Okay, so those respawn. Wonder how long I can keep them at bay. Oh boy. I'm a genius! Catapult, that's bad. Okay, now we go for another resolution. Oh, this might get really hard because I only have one resolution left. We can probably keep like 2 of those ads at bay. Hey, Skullwolf. Yeah, the chat has been very quiet. So we've been getting, like within an hour or so, gotten to floor 100 from 80. Summon Darkness, there's more ads. It's bad news for me. 3 ads, yay! I just said we could deal with 2. It makes like the Nintendo Switch noise. Oh. And clear the corpses. No, that. Oh, 20%. Now, Mr. Nibis, don't come with some evil final gambit of some sort. Because I really don't have the tools to deal with it. So the good news is that while we used all 3 resolution at once in this one fight, the good news are that resolution is, I believe, completely useless for the next like 80 floors. So we're not gonna miss them. Bam! And that's floor 100. So Leon, and Skullwolf for that matter, both of you, what are you up to tonight? Anything fun? Yeah. Surprise, guys. This is the first time I've reached floor 100 alone. So that's why I'm not completely clear on some of the bosses as we get up to them. Hoplets. Let's just see what we found. It's more fun that way. See what we looted on the way up. 5,000 gil. A hat. How does it look? It's a mask. Dailies. Oh. Oh. Well, sounds like a good idea to get something to eat then, Leon, if you haven't gotten anything. Still working on P3S? Can't remember, was it you that jumped ahead and did some P4S? Or was that Ralu? I think it might have been Ralu. Because I feel like you both mentioned that you had some difficulty with P3S. And thank you. Skullwolf, there are 200 floors. And after the first 100, we pretty much just circled back to the same floors again, just harder, much harder. So this is when it starts getting really hard, and then we consider the fact that I spent nearly 20 of those sustaining potions in just 20 floors. We're probably gonna need a lot more of those now. Yeah. Treasure chest. Oh man, you serious? This is gonna be a bad set. This is gonna be a really bad set. And now the mimics are too strong, so I can't even beat them before they give me the pox anymore. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, okay. There was the potential that the next treasure was also a mimic, and then we might as well already have the pox, so it can't reapply it. That's... I think that's a... Oh, well, okay. Not so bad. We got the Purity Pomander replaced immediately. It just flipped from really, really annoying to not too bad of a start very quickly. So Leon, is it the Tomestone grind dailies, or is it like beast tribes and stuff? Yes, yeah, I'm just stacking the questions now. Are you doing P3S? Do you have dailies? What are those dailies? And is the exit here? Oh, it's not. There's more. A silver chest disguised as a bronze chest in the orange light. The classic. Get everything to 90 and then decide on a main. Oh! So you've done a bunch of Savage and haven't decided on a main. Is that, am I understanding that correctly? Now I'm confused. I'm not sure which job you might have mentioned you played. But if you didn't have a particular main, then maybe that's not super important. Yes. One strength. One strength. Oh. Oh, that's scary. That's really scary. Just gives the vulnerability debuff. More enemies. It's the attack of the respawns. That's okay, Leon. That's okay. My questions also, I guess, they show up like 30 seconds after I ask them. So maybe I lose track of how long it's been. You are on your main. you mainly play Summoner. You know what? I can get behind that. If you watched my Savage Raiding preparation guide, I pretty much say the same thing. I would play Summoner because it makes it easier to deal with the boss mechanics. I completely get that. That's smart. But okay, it was just because, Leon, you said that you were going to decide on a main. So suddenly, like, if you haven't decided on a main, then that means that, like, you can be raiding. You can be raiding on a job that isn't your main. You can be raiding on like 5 different jobs, if that's what you like. But if you decide to play a main, then I imagine that you're thinking, this is the job for me. This is the job that I'm going to really master. And I guess some jobs work better when you're going like completely full focus on them. I think Summoner is a really good job to have like in the back in case you need something more mobile, because it's there is some tricks you can use to like optimize. But it is definitely one of the easier jobs to manage because the general rotation isn't too demanding. And I think many groups, I could imagine many groups wouldn't dislike having a summoner. Like if you were to choose a mage to bring, then summoner is a decent one. It's pretty reliable. Hey, Green Yoshi. Get everything you went out to get? I think you said you were going to the store earlier. Good to know that, Skullwolf. The thing is, oh, here comes the witching. The thing is that right now I already have a like both of my saves are occupied, and one of them is with a free company team. So it might be difficult to plan that. What? The exit isn't up yet. But we'll see. Oh yeah. Good time as ever to go and get your groceries Saturday. Well, we've had that save, Skullwolf. We've had that save for months. Oh, whoops. The exit opened. But it's just a matter of finding time to do it, and also wanting to do it. I believe that save... I believe that save we got to floor 101. Well, it's some of our shared friends, Skullwolf, but I don't in interest to their privacy, I'm just gonna not say anything about who exactly it is. They might not want to be called out on a live stream. They're my good friends. So Leon, like if you mainly play summoner, so you're leveling other like I get the impression you want to get everything to level 90. But if you're looking for a job to main, are there some jobs that you have like been eyeing maybe? Like, oh, that one might be the one for me. Like before you've maxed it out maybe. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is the worst flaw to fight 2 enemies at once. Because I can't even use my potions. I didn't even realize that until now. Safety... nope. Can't use that either. Patrol? No patrol. How about you, Green Yoshi? Now that you've gotten the groceries, anything special happening today? Oh. That would have been the most awkward death. Didn't step back from the explosion. Oh, that sounds like a good day. How far have you gotten? From what I can tell, everyone that is vocal in the chat have completed the majority of the Endwalker story, so you can probably be specific if you want to. Oh, and let's get out of here. Music change. Serenity, yes. We needed one of those. Oh man, that is a wild time to like have the break. I hope you haven't been away from the main quest for days. That's like a weirdly horrible cliffhanger. Oh. Well, in that case, just to make sure we don't spoil anyone, let's remember that Green Yoshi has not seen anything beyond that. So let's imagine that that doesn't exist, anything after that, so that we don't accidentally spoil it. I actually did pretty much the entirety of Ultima Thule, most of the story in one sitting, and I got to the zone at like 3 or 2 in the night. And I got to the dungeon. I'm gonna be real here. I don't think that that's really a spoiler. It's the dungeon of the zone. Really late in the morning. Or really early in the morning, I should say. Well, Mimic Tech, guys. So Mimic Tech, you can witching the mimics. Yeah. One tip that I would like to guide your attention to for the Ultima Thule zone, Green Yoshi. If you don't play with music on normally, you should play with music on in Ultima Thule. You turn on the music. And also pay attention to it, because it actually changes as you go through the zone. And this only happens the first time. So make sure you get the full experience. Yeah, and Skullwolf, I remember, was blasting some other music while playing. That can happen. Like if you're in the zone, that happens. The difference between Thancred and Estinian. What do you mean? Like what do you mean in general? I would like to know. Oh yeah, that too. I mean also the actual zone music changes as you progress. Yes, we're back up on 3 strength commanders. That's great. That's really good news. Boom. Next floor. Yeah. So, in case it wasn't completely clear, Skullwolf is in my free company, and well, we told him he missed out. We flat out just told him he really missed out. Well, it's always fun to hear what people think is gonna happen in the story before they have seen it. So if you have some theories you would like to talk about, Yoshi, you're welcome to talk about them here if you want to. If you just want to leave it and you think, I'll probably figure out what happens as I see it, that's also fine. That's just to say... Aww. Aww. That does seem to be where the story is leading, yes. That does sound right. Aww. It could happen. It could happen. I have to be very careful with my choice of words here. But it could happen. It isn't the first time that they've killed off main characters of the story. So it could happen. It is absolutely a possibility. Yeah, oh yeah, the legendary Haurchefant. That's actually an interesting story. When the incident with Haurchefant happened, I wasn't that deep, like that gripped by the story yet. So while it did hit me that wow, what's happening here in this story, it took me a long time to realize how important Haurchefant was to the story as a whole. If you want, if you're interested in seeing a really cool alternative take to what happens in the Heavensward story, do you know what an ultimate is? An encounter called an ultimate. They're like supposed to be like super difficult encounters. Green Yoshi. Yeah, I mean like Alexander Ultimate. Yeah, exactly. Like the ultimates are it's just like Savage encounters are the bard that is telling the story, are embellishing what they think would be kind of funny or cool. Like imagine if this happened instead, kind of deal. So the ultimates are the same, but in some capacity they're also just super difficult, like really concentrated versions of the entire story that you're viewing. Like for instance, Alexander Ultimate takes the biggest highlights of that raid and boils it down to their like prime parts of each of their encounters and makes a really difficult encounter out of it. The Dragon Song is, I believe it's a Dragon Song's Reprieve Ultimate, is a retelling of pretty much the entire Heavensward story in some capacity. I think the story might start around what happens in the vault. Like the Dragon Song Ultimate fight starts around there. Which means that exactly what you think will happen happens. You could say. Why I'm saying this is because the story takes a very interesting turn. And if you feel like you might not like either have the time or skill or energy to do ultimates, I would still highly recommend just watching a team beat Dragon Song's Reprieve Ultimate to see what happens, because it's really cool. And if you're very invested in the Heavensward story, I think you would enjoy it. Trying not to be attached to the character so hard. Well, fortunately, it's also been, I think it's been a long time since a main character died, hasn't it? I think? Oh, we're actually starting to get really pressed for time somehow. 36 minutes, 5 floors. We're ahead. We're still ahead. But it's it's starting to get a little grim. What is End of Heaven Sword, Skullwolf? What do you mean? The Dragon Song Ultimate? Or... Oh, right, who died last? Yeah, what counts, actually? What counts as a important character death? If we're talking a character that they actively put effort into making you care about that dies, I would say, wouldn't it be like the start of Shadowbringers? Like the very start, we have our friend that gets turned into a Sin Eater, right? In the scene where you realized that Final Fantasy XIV is also a horror game. And if we're talking main cast, then yeah, it's probably Papalimo, right? I think it would be Papalimo. Four floors, 34 minutes. No reason to check that room. Fight the squirrel! Oh man. Well, you know how I said that we might need potions for every single enemy we fight? Yeah, we're kinda there. Ow, ow. Okay. The story of Katsuchaiji, almost bested by a squirrel. A very aggressive squirrel. Oh, no, this is bad. I don't want to fight two things at once. Get out of here! Oh no. Are you serious? I'm getting run over by patrolling dung beetles. When I did that part of the story, I had been away from main scenario quest for a long while. Are you another one? I had been away from the main quest for a long time, so I got pretty quickly into the Shadowbringers stuff and kind of had to like get into the story again. I don't recall this particular bit of the story being really gruesome when I did it. It's just the part of the kind of part of story that you don't miss. you don't miss it unless of course you skip it. You know, another scary part, which you might miss if you don't pay close attention, in Hallminster Switch, one of the bosses, like the dungeon that follows immediately after that scene, one of the bosses that you fight is her. And you can tell that both from the fact that it is the correct creature, like the exact creature she turns into. But if you do it with trust, Alize will point it out. She will literally bring it up. That it is them. Which just makes it worse, right? Like, the scariest parts of Final Fantasy XIV is like this starting bit of Shadowbringers like that. And then I think some parts of Yulmore. And then... oh, what's the name of the dungeon? The dungeon when you come back from the moon? When you come back from the moon and have to help on Thavnair with saving people because everything's going wrong. You just see people basically doing that same stunt with turning into a monster and then promptly having to kill them to put them out of their misery. And that is that gruesome scene from Shadowbringers just as a dungeon. The whole scene as a dungeon. There's some gruesome looking creatures in that. That sort of also means that the level 80 dungeon from Shadowbringers becomes a little gruesome in its own right. The difference is just that instead of people turning into the monsters, it is people against their will producing the monsters. I don't know. It's hard to say what would be worse, I think. I think being turned into the monster is worse because of the fact that it burns your actual soul away, while just like summoning the monsters and then promptly getting killed by them still means that you will go to, I guess, the afterlife? But that's really terrible. I wonder, did the Shadowbringers story address that? Like, just turning into a Sin Eater? How similar is that to turning into the monstrosities in Endwalker? Yeah, the big question is what happens? So, your ether is completely replaced by this... or is completely overwhelmed by the light ether, right? I think... I'm not perfectly 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that the lore is that the act of turning into a Sin Eater is because your body is overwhelmed by light ether. And that means that technically you're still you. Yes, exactly. It's like tempering on steroids. That's a good way to say it. And void creatures, I believe that's from the 13th. It's the same thing, like exactly the same thing. It's just you get taken over by dark ether or void ether, which is, you know, the polar opposite. And I believe there's something with dark ether supposed to be like the ether that puts things in motion, while light ether is the things that are supposed to put stop to things. That's also why Heidelin's main power is like stasis and stopping things. Right, now we have boss time. We have racing, good. And then shield, sustaining potion, lust. Let's go. And it's gonna be really awkward if I die outright on this first boss on the second set of 100 floors. Oh boy. Think that's gonna be fine. Part of the disadvantage to the Lust is that it doesn't do that much damage, all things considered. I should be kiting this. I should really be kiting this. The big difference between Sin Eaters and Void Beasts and Sin Eaters, Void Beasts and the monstrosities from Endwalker is that the monstrosities from Endwalker, they are not ether. Like, they're not actually anything related with ether. And because people in the Final Fantasy XIV universe are pretty much ether, like mainly everything's ether, all the living things are ether, mostly, getting all the ether that is you burned away is equivalent to you burning away. So I would guess that that becoming a Sin Eater is, first of all, not necessarily final. Although we have heard previously in the story that people can go too far, like tempering can go too far beyond when you start turning into different creatures. And then we don't know a way to save them. And conceptually there might not be a way to save the person, because it's like it's a bit like code, I think. Like, if you change a bunch of things in a program, then we can still like fix the mistakes and get it back to where it was. But if I take all the code and just replace it with hello world, just a lot of hello world, there's not much to recover, right? A better example would be, like, if you clean your hard drive, there are programs that can unclean it again. Like, just take the flagged data on your hard drive that is flagged as quote-unquote empty, but isn't actually empty, and can just remove the flag and keep it. But if you, instead of cleaning the hard drive, actively remove everything and then replace it with nonsense, then there is nothing to recover. And that's like, I think maybe that's when they say that it's too far gone to be saved. But then again, I guess you're still you under the tempering, so maybe your soul still goes on. I think, maybe. Oh, we didn't get any horde. Shame. We did get 20 sustaining potions, which means that despite everything, we still got more potions than we spent. Another 10! Another 10 floors! So here's a little tip. Food buffs work in Palace of the Dead. And they give you like 10% more health when you use them. So when you start getting really far in Palace of the Dead, start using food buffs. You're only gonna need like 2%. Oh. I have a feeling that maybe we're not gonna get much further than 120. This is starting to get really difficult and every mistake costs me. But we'll see how far we can get. I also have a feeling that we will not get as many floors done as last week, just because each set takes longer. That might not be entirely true, since the first set of floors will always take a long time. No, that's not what I'm saying, Skullwolf. I'm not saying that summoners are not cut out to go further. There are many clears with summoner at 200. It's more that the people that clear Palace of the Dead solo are not many. It's not something that you just do because. It's something that you really have to put a lot of effort into to get done. And maybe I have not put enough research and effort into it. It's like just going out of my way to stream Palace of the Dead like this is a bit like if I decided my first attempt at speedrunning a game should be done on a live stream. Oh no. That's a nice stun. Oh, okay, we're already getting resolution again. Yeah, that's what I mean, is that I don't think that maybe I have the experience to get to floor 200 alone. Skull, you know how we have this friend in common that does a lot of Heaven on High? You have to keep in mind that he doesn't get the full 100 every time when he does it alone. Sometimes you can just be unlucky. If I remember correctly, my best run in Palace of the Dead was 2 people, so me and a friend. And we got to like 180 something floors. And part of the reason why we didn't get further than that was because we were extremely unlucky with some traps and those party rooms where there's just an absurd amount of enemies in a room. Oh no. So even though we were 2 people, we couldn't beat it. It didn't help either that our final room, when we had 1 minute left and multiple floors, spawned us in with 5 chimeras simultaneously. Whoops, that was the incorrect pomander. That's fine. We'll find another fortune, probably. But 5 chimeras coming in. And those are the kind of enemies on those floors that you want to dodge. Like, you don't want to fight them at all, even when you're 2 people. Yeah, I kind of mean like getting on bad runs. The thing is that when you're doing something that requires luck, like randomly generated dungeons, like Palace of the Dead, your skill compensates for bad luck, but doesn't remove bad luck. Like, if you're really good, you can avoid bad luck more. But you can't just remove it from the equation. Like, for instance, if I needed a specific pomander for a specific floor boss, I could be unlucky and just not be dealt that pomander. Like, hypothetically, after I had that unlucky fight with the floor 90 boss, I could have gone 20 floors and not found a single strength pomander. And I did go 10 floors without getting one. That was why I ran out. Like many speedruns that have moves you need to pull off that requires luck. Yeah, exactly. Final Fantasy speedruns where you could get screwed by the game just not letting you proceed because it keeps putting you in combat. For example. That can happen. And speaking of bad luck, these slimes are demons. I believe the slimes, so the slime gives a physical, like a damage debuff that makes you take more damage. But I think it's also the slime that can explode. And it kills you outright. It kills you outright if it gets to do that. And because I don't have a stun or an interrupt or anything, I can just watch in horror as it deletes me from the face of the earth. Oh, this is extremely bad. Don't do me like this, game. Okay, it let me reset the debuff. Excellent. It's been a long time since we've had a steal for random packs. So, is the Horde this way? That I would really like it if the Horde was this way, game? Could we do that? I would like it if you did that, game. Yes, thank you. Thank you, game. Command of Lust. And we need to fight at least one of these guys. And we need to fight both. Like in Jack 2, that has a lot of luck due to the original PS2 version pushing the console to its limits. Not only have you got to deal with luck of moves, but oh, there's an enemy in the way. And can I? Thank you. And that was the steal. We'll just refresh this. And but of not having the game randomly crash on you. That's annoying. At least if you're playing on the PS2 console version. That's very make it or break speedrun and a lot die to just random crashing. The slimes don't do this. Huh. Oh. This is a dead end. Okay. Instead of doing this every time I find a rage, I don't use it because it's in a dead end. This time, we're doing it. We're using it, and then we're just on 2. And the next time we find a rage, we say, oh, thank you, and use it. And bring it. Way smarter. And there's the exit. We might be able to bring the rage a little bit. Bring the rage! Could be good. It's probably dead by the time I get in. No more rage because long loading screen. I can't make it. Pot shot, great. So we haven't used that many. And we already have 2. So we have like 40 potions to spend as we see fit. That's exactly the reason why I've been going out of my way to grab the bronze chests. It's because we're gonna need all these 400 sustaining potions, it seems. Like, just based on the amount of damage I'm taking. We're gonna need that. Like, we're in what is essentially a 4-man dungeon as a DPS. And the way that we tank damage is by just out-healing it. And the only way to do that is by using sustaining potions. Oh, no. Oh, time for sustaining potion. Three enemies. Switching. How did that third cobra come in? I didn't even see it. It's just suddenly there. And the Nanka's just shooting from down the hall. Oh, the cobras are the patrols on this floor. Right. That does explain a lot. Well, it looks like we're getting a much better time on this set of floors than the last set. I think we had 10 minutes less on the last set at around this floor. This might be good. Oh, never mind. This might be good. We might be fine, guys. Mimic. A mimic. Oh, and a steel refresh. That's good. A mimic. We're out of witching commanders, so if we run into trouble, we might really be in trouble. And I feel like I've been using them sparingly. But genuinely, this run could end by just stepping on one of those. Can you solo run the higher level floors as a healer, or would you likely fail the DPS check bosses? So the bosses with DPS checks, I believe, are only the 80, 90, 180, and 100 and what? Why is that so big? the 80, 90, 180, and 190 floor bosses. 80 was the Behemoth lookalike. It will use Meteor, which does like 80% of your health. So, because it does percentage-based damage, if you can heal up past that point between every cast, then you'll be fine. You can do that. And the 90 floor was the one we died on before. Because, well, we survived because I had a Pomad of Racing. But that boss has a room-wide AoE that I think it put me to 1 HP. Like, actually put me to exactly 1 HP. And then it slapped me and I died. But if I had been quick with a shield or a heal, I would probably have been fine. It just surprised me that I survived so much that I had no ability to react to it. The 180 floor is actually the probably not a big surprise, but that's Behemoth again, like the same Behemoth, just with more health and more damage. If you can keep up with the mechanics of the boss, then you will not have any issues. The problems arise because its DPS check happens at I think like 10 or 20% health, which is a large amount if you're alone as a healer or a tank. But oh no, that's annoying. The good news are that a healer would be the one job that would be most capable of topping themselves up to full health between every meteor cast. So that's a really long-winded way to say no. I don't think a healer would have any trouble doing solo Palace of the Dead. I think actually that healers are among the jobs that have more successful clears, but that's without checking. I'm not completely sure on that one. We could take a little look at the rankings after this set if you want. Or like just a little glance at it to get an idea of how it looks. I think Astrologian would have intense issues soloing Palace of the Dead. Mainly because the majority of your damage comes from buffing someone else. But honestly, I think Sage and Scholar might be really strong in Palace of the Dead, because they have so much auto-healing and shields. Like, if an attack does 80% of your health in damage, if you have a shield, then you're taking that much less damage, meaning that it'll be easier for you to heal back up. And if you combine these two effects, that you can both use your Pomad, you can use your sustaining potion, and then also add your own healing, then suddenly I think it's very possible. Like when I chose, like last week when we started this run, my most confident jobs like the ones I thought we would be able to get the longest with, what was probably Paladin and Sage among those that I suggested. But that's not because the other jobs are incapable of doing it. It has been proven that all jobs can complete Palace of the Dead 200 floors alone. It can be done. It's just some jobs have a harder time than others. To be precise, the weakest job by far in Palace of the Dead is the Black Mage. Hello, Savage Nation. Have you... How new are you to the game? Like, how long have you played? It's very useful to know so that we don't accidentally spoil anything if we get into spoilery topics. And it's really useful for us to know how far you are in the game. Like, what level are you? How far are you in the story? If you have an idea of that. Like, you might not know. So, do you know what the Palace of the Dead is, Savage? The dungeon in the snow area. Stone Vigil. Stone Vigil, right? I believe it's Stone Vigil. Alright. It's more important. A bard. Awesome. That is a pretty good job to start with too. Yeah. Just to make sure I concluded on the thing I was talking about before. I think that tanks and healers, their main concern, like the difficulty they will face when doing Palace of the Dead, is that their lack of damage means that wow, 2 strength on the same floor right after the other. The lower DPS of a tank or a healer means that your biggest concern will be keeping up with the dungeon timer. Meanwhile, you can see that even when we've been through really tough times, like when I had the set where I spent 10 minutes with the Pox debuff, reducing my damage and causing me to not regen and stuff, even with that, as a DPS, I could still clear with like 30 minutes to spare, I think. Something like that. Meanwhile, the first big concern a healer will face is 100% going to be the timer getting scary close. And you will be a lot more interested in learning and mastering knowing which enemies have less health and are easier to kill. Because you're going to be forced to choose enemies to fight and dodge enemies more, because every enemy will take ages to kill as you get to the higher floors. Like, it's hard to determine exactly how long the time difference would be, but imagine if every enemy took twice as long to fight for me, then we would be probably hurting for time right now, like very much. Fortunately, we're near the final floor, of this set. Oh, patrol coming in. Let's see if we can get the horde first. You know, a really evil thing is that traps can stack on top of the horde. So that's fun. You can just get baited into stepping on a trap. So that's something that I'm very wary of when we have the light from the horde appearing closer to the center of the room. I think I think I did talk about this on the last stream, that traps are much more likely to appear closer to the center. So you want to hang out as close to the edge of the room as you can, just to avoid traps. It doesn't even matter whether you're soloing or going in a group of 4. You want to be absolutely sure that you're avoiding traps, because it just wastes time. But because there are more people, it's a lot more common to step on traps when you're a group. So it's just something to be aware of. Like, if we wipe, I'm thinking we're just like gonna make a vote and then go right back in and see with a different job, like if we can get further. Then the question is what job we use then. I'm thinking not summoner again, as I said, a different job, so that we can try and review and see and experience the different jobs in Palace of the Dead. Oh yes, so this one, when we did it last week on the easier version, it spawned hornet ants that we could just flat out ignore. It was just not, they were not strong enough, and the boss didn't have enough health to threaten us. So we could just completely ignore it. I'm just waiting for my shield button. And here we go. And then we see if I'm making a grave mistake. Just get that sustaining potion running immediately. We're probably gonna need a bunch of those, but it's just the safest way to stay healthy. Battle. Let's use Ifrit first this time. I can't remember what this does. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that I had used the slow Ifrit buff before the ads spawned. I just reused the sustaining potion to be on the safe side. The healing from the sustaining potion only like heals for twice the damage the boss is doing with his auto attacks. So if we fall behind, it'll be really hard to like catch up again. Okay, how much is it this time? That's fine. Oh, no, I got out of rhythm. Okay, good. The ads spawned on time. This feels way easier than the floor 110 boss. Maybe it's just because I'm more ready for their damage. Oh, Adel is back. Alright, we got this. 30 minutes left. There we go. That was like 5 minutes at least faster than the previous set. Now we get to open boxes. Yay. Oh, hairstyle! Samsonian locks. I don't even know what that looks like. And pants! Pants! That's pretty nice. Can't see them with my gear on. And we get 60 sustaining potions. So just in case anyone's wondering, the reason why I'm just immediately exchanging all of my Gilmoran potsherds to potions is because I have all of the other things you can purchase. So there isn't really, like, the only other thing is that you can buy some materia with them. And they're mostly combat materia, so it's not that helpful for what we want to get done. Let's just see here. Oh. Why did you choose Aura as your main character race? Well, I just like it. I think I previously when we talked about it, I did mention that I played the free trial Final Fantasy XIV back when it capped at level 35. That was a long time ago. Back then, Heavensward was not part of the free trial, so you could not make an order on the free trial. I made a male Mikote and played, like, I think I got to like I got to Camp Drybone, so I didn't even get to do a dungeon. And then I found out that if you bought the game and had the subscription, then you could become in like an order. And I thought they were adorable, so I decided to make that. Like, I decided to buy the game the day after and start over. As in, I did not use a Fantasia. I started over and did it again. And that time I started as Arcanist, whereas the Mikote started as a Gladiator. Welcome back, Savage. And Skullwolf, way back when, it was the only, like, you only got the first 35 levels of the game for free. And you only got access to the stuff that would be in the base game. I do think you could play Ninja if you wanted to. I do think that was available. Savage, the only way to start over is you don't have to start over to change your race. You don't have to start over to change your race. That is not a requirement. You need an item called a Fantasia. The only way to get a Fantasia is either one, around level 50 in the main scenario quest, you will be given one for free. You just get handed one. And you only get one. That's the only free Fantasia. If you want to change your race again after that one time, you need to pay real money for them. They're not cheap. I would say that compared to other MMOs, the race change feature of a Fantasia is cheaper, like significantly cheaper, but it is still not free. It's not free. So make sure you choose correctly so you don't have to end up paying money. Case in point of choosing correctly, I still have that one Fantasia, so I can just show you what a Fantasia is. Well, like if I was like I said my character started as a male Mikote, but if I played today and Aura was not a race in the game, I would probably be playing a Lalafell. So this is the Fantasia. This is, by the way, the one you get for free. I still have it. And because it's market prohibited, that means you can't trade it with other players. It's not an option. The only way to get a Fantasia is to pay real money. Now that we're here, how much is this? Okay, nice. So in case anyone's interested, we've made like 200,000 gil doing Palace of the Dead so far. And last week, one of the treasures we found was maybe some of you know this item. I'm guessing there's the biggest chance that maybe Green Yoshi knows it, maybe Skullwolf knows it. It's the Thavnarian Bustier. It's a very popular dress. Oh, what level are you, Savage? I'm curious. So you said you did the Stone Vigil. Let's see, was I correct? Snow Dungeon, Dragon, Stone Vigil. I think that's the only one. It could be, 43. Oh, great. And you're level 43? So that's good. That sounds like you're staying on top of your main quest. That is important. I believe, let me just check. The stream might lag a little bit. Console Games Wiki tends to really crush my computer sometimes. If you're level 43 and you just did Stone Vigil, you might be perfectly fine. But if just so you're aware, there is a little jump because there are no level 45 main quests. So your quest is just going to be like level 41, 42, 43, 44, 46. It used to be like a jump from, I think, like 43 to 47. It was pretty wild. So just be aware that you might suddenly run into like a level wall. But yeah, you can play as many jobs as you like. Actually, I tried a whole bunch of classes when I got my first level 30. I tried most of the jobs when I was level 30. I just also realized that most of the jobs don't have very much yet around that level. If you do find Rogue and so Ninja interesting, the most important thing to understand and learn is their mudras. They have like ninja hand signs, and that is like 3 or 4 buttons that combine to give you access to, let's see here, ninja, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, 9 spells, but technically 2 of them are duplicates, so like 7 spells, and you don't, as soon as you get access to the others, you really don't use Fuma Shuriken, just so you know, so that it's closer to 6 spells, and you don't use your turn for a long time, so it's closer to 5 spells. But the point stands that you're going to learn like a sequence of buttons that you need to click, and if you want to do good damage, you'll have to press them quickly. You just have to memorize them. It's a little scary when you're learning it, but it's just one aspect. Like another aspect is learning to like dump all of your big attacks together in one big attack, because of the debuffs that ninja can apply to the enemy. But that's more like optimization. You don't have to do this. Black Mage was my first lot, then Summoner, then I stopped playing, got that update, so it's bad. Well, I will say that both Monk and Rogue, or Ninja, are hard in their own right. So if you think one of them looks interesting and you want to try it, that's the best way to figure out if it's something for you. Bard is also difficult in its own right. If you feel like it feels a bit strange, like there's like a weird downtime and stuff because your songs have like a hole where you don't have one, this gets filled at level 52. And then it starts like fitting together better. This is the case with a lot of jobs. Like Black Mage really starts to come together when you have Blizzard 3 and Fire 3. And that's level 35. And it even gets more than that, like the entire rotation gets adjusted at level 60 again. I think Summoner is one of the jobs that like by level 22, your rotation is kinda there. You add a little bit to it, you adjust a few things, but it's mostly already done. And you just adjust it a little bit. So it's hard to say like how soon you can really judge a job. But the main thing you need to keep in mind is, do you think it's fun? Oh, you're playing on controller. Okay, that does make it complex for me because I have not played on controller. I don't have too much advice for controller keybinds. But I do think that if you're looking at Rogue and Ninja, you probably want like an entire 4 buttons, like a set dedicated to these. Oh, okay. It was nice seeing you, Savage. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever. I feel like controller is just really... I'm not saying that it's bad or worse or anything. I'm just saying that I feel like it's a lot harder to play the game on controller. But it's impressive that it's possible. Just see here. Right. Let's see if we can get another 10 floors, right? Let me just clean this up. Yeah. targeting is harder. Yeah, exactly. Oh, hello, Rem. That's a long trip. We're doing some Palace of the Dead. Just chilling through Palace of the Dead. We're getting into floor 121 now. Are you up to something yourself? Yeah, it's a very long trip. But yeah, exactly, Green Yoshi. I exactly would imagine that targeting would be difficult. I remember back when Shadowbringers was like getting showcased. Like it wasn't really it wasn't released yet. They were showing off the Dom Mech dungeon to showcase the game, and they showcased one run where the player behind the camera was playing on keyboard, and another run where they were playing behind playing on controller, and both runs was a healer. The run on controller spent way more time having issues with targeting. Like they spent time where they weren't casting while targeting. I'm not saying that that's how everyone plays. Who knows? You don't have to be the best in the world to be able to showcase a game. But that was just something I noticed, and it made sense that that would be very difficult. Oh, oops. That is a really long trip. Zepla, MTQ capture, Arthas, Atsui Sakai, Ceviche, and Kogan and Pint. Oh yeah, but I think I saw that Pint is like, was it they were really close to finishing the story, I think that was it. I think I saw like a live stream clip or something that was in my newsfeed about that. We've had 2 safeties. Green Yoshi, have you tried playing on controller, or are you playing on controller? Three minutes for the first plus, pretty good, let's say. Double intuition, and the horde is not on this floor, so one of them is wasted. Oh, resolution, we can't use it. Play on mouse and keyboard. Ah, okay. What job does she play? Like since if she's on. I guess it's a lot of practice. Machinist. Yeah, that can work. I do think that probably the hardest jobs to play on a controller would probably be healers because of the whole targeting situation. But you can probably get really far with like really well thought out keybinds. Like maybe you have... Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe she'll decide to try it once you've completed the story. Fortune. I wonder if Rem is still here. If you are, I would love to know what, like, if there's a specific thing you were watching the other streams for. Oh, exit. Excellent. 3 minutes for the second floor, I think. About that. But I do know the fear of trying tank and healer, because suddenly you have some responsibility you're not used to having. Great, we're back up on max witching. But yeah, I have like a friend that was scared of trying anything but DPS until they got convinced to try it. And now that it's not their main, it's not the main, but they do play all roles. Turned off by the button mashing. That's interesting. Machinist is one of, if not the highest APM job in the game, as far as I know. Well, during hypercharge, it is. But it's a different kind of button mashing, I guess. You don't like the button mashing, but you're the machinist. Well, I'm sure it just feels a lot more intimidating because it's a job where you don't really know. It's when you're trying to play machinist optimally, the scary part is that it's very fast paced, and if you make a single mistake, it can hurt your damage a little bit, like a minute down the line, because it displaces all of those buttons that you use, like chainsaw and drill, and air anchor primarily, and those have to be used at very specific timings and stuff. The reason why Machinist is a little scary with its high APM is that, let's say that we're not like the closest contender, oh no, to highest APM after Machinist is probably Monk. And the big difference here is that Monk is not hurt that much by pressing the wrong button. It can hurt if you press the wrong button, like the wrong specific button, like messing up your perfect balance and stuff like that. But it's still less painful than the Machinist pain. Because Monk's rotation and like damage compensation for getting the rotation right is better adjusted to the very high speed of the job, while Machinist can easily get hurt a lot by making one button mistake. But like, speaking of Sage, it's my favorite healer, so I completely understand that you would like that. It's just its toolkit feels like you have the correct button, like you have the choice of what you want to do at any time when something happens in a fight. Which I think is super important when playing a healer. That's not something that I feel like you have as much control over when you're playing Astrologian. Sometimes White Mage. Scholar seems to have mostly always an option, but it feels like to me, in some capacities, Sage just feels like it's a little easier to do it with. Like, for instance, even though Scholar also has a button equivalent to Caracol, that doesn't really matter, because the Scholar equivalent is like a dome that you have to place down, while Caracol you can just use and you just have it. Makes it so much easier. It's my own. Oh. I look away for 1 second and I get a big hit. It's not fun. Oh, that's a bit late. It's my only max level class though. I'm planning on trying to get Reaver up to max, but I'm just taking my time with that class. Well, the best way, in my opinion, to level a secondary job is to do daily leveling roulettes. It's a really powerful way to get a job level up. It's very time efficient, and most importantly, you will get an opportunity to practice your rotation as you level. In comparison to, for instance, oh god, comparison to Palace of the Dead. Where you don't really get that much practice with your job. These mimics are getting really scary. Like, every time I get a mimic, it means that I lose a Pomander instead of finding one. Hello, Minotaur. Goodbye. Another one. Like, when you do a lot of Palace of the Dead to level a job, you get really good at Palace of the Dead with the job. That's a skill in its own right. But if you want to do anything other than Palace of the Dead, then it's not as helpful. Also, there's another thing regarding the controller versus keyboard conversation, I would say. Like, I can play games on a controller, but most games, if you can choose between them, I would always choose a keyboard over a controller. Like, for instance, I play Monster Hunter on keyboard. While I think most veterans of that game would say that that controller is best. So whether one is better than the other comes down to also experience. But targeting certainly one. Like, it's like with Monster Hunter. Yes, controller is for the most part perfectly equal to keyboard. But there is a reason why the ranged weapons are far more popular, and I do believe they rank better on PC. It's just easier to aim. And there's only so much you can do with like aim assisting and stuff. I guess it's sort of like the Yakuza series. You can play with keyboard. I should have skipped this. I should have just skipped this mimic. I almost missed the chest, and then I see it, and then it turns out to be a mimic. This trick with using a witching pomander that I randomly discovered, that is so helpful. I'm getting way more witching pomanders. Are you serious? Well, you know they say, one bad thing rarely comes alone, right? Do you think we're gonna make it 3 mimics? Nope. It's just an item that makes an entire room on the next floor possibly mimics. You can play it with keyboard, but the games always tell you real... Okay, are you sure the games say that? Do the games say that real Yakuza players play with a controller? Or are you sure, or is it not just the player base that says that? Because that's sort of how some like game communities can be. Ah, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of games that do that. I feel like often that's games that are really well designed to do that, or that are not really designed to play with keyboard. I have some games that say that too. Sometimes the games clearly indicate it automatically by virtue of, for instance, the mouse doesn't do anything. Like, you can use left click and right click, but you can't turn the camera. Or something like that. Okay, Green Yoshi. Have a good time. And if you're starting on the main quest stuff now, I hope you have brought tissues. Thank you. Anyway, we have a really good time right now, I think. 4 floors. Almost only 3 floors left. And 40 minutes. Nice. More strength. Keep that buff rolling. Are there enemies in the exit room? That's what I need to know, because then we fight those first. There is not. So did you finish the download of, what's it called, Ooblets? Ah, okay. A lust? That's a unique game. Oh yeah, I picked up this new Ooblets game. So what are you doing? Oh, I'm currently learning how to do dance battles and farming. That's a case of the that's not something you hear every day, or I didn't expect to hear those two words close together. Oh dear. So fun when you get the patrolling troop. They walk side by side. Ow, people! I just want to enter the next room. I just want to enter the room. Is that so much to ask? Let me in! Let me in! It's turn-based. Gotta be the first to hit 20 points. It's ood, but fun. It's ooblets, but fun. And a plot shirt. Yep. Thank you. No, 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 no. I just thanked you. Why? Why? These owls, if you're doing this as a healer, I can imagine that they will be some of the enemies that will take up the most time, because they will always sleep you. Pretty much unavoidable, because of the damage that you're doing. And that will always cost like 2 extra seconds or so. That you just won't, you will never get back. This is just, they're equally annoying on the low floors. They just are easier to beat before they finish their cast. Oh yeah, they even have the staff and everything, Skullwolf. You see it. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. It's like getting crowd controlled in PvP. You think you click the button, but then the enemy stops you and then you aren't... Oh, oh no, 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 that's bad news. That was as close as you could possibly have gotten. But that is also the scariest trap we could have had. And now it's even scarier because I don't have anything if they do it again. Well, I have something, but it might not actually save me. Oh, we're almost done with this set. Good. We have a witching again. We have a witching. We're in the clear. We're good. We're safe. Need a strength. I'm gonna wait for the shield to be ready again. Almost. So this is the guy with the fear itself, where you need to stand under it to get that magic to happen. But it also places circle AoEs on the floor, so you have to make sure that you don't trap yourself because of those. 30 minutes remaining. Whoa! Oh, this might be it. Will I survive? Maybe? That was extremely quickly. Wow! I just have to stay on top of it. That was crazy. On the lower floors you have like 5 seconds to get under it. There is just 2 seconds, you're done. Fortunately I had my sustaining potion, otherwise it would have been over. Should just make sure I'm not too greedy with the Ifrit spells. That was really what almost got me. If it starts moving in, I'll just have to abandon my spellcast and go for it. Like this. Oop. Make sure I'm really properly under it. We're getting close. So, another fear itself. Anytime you want. Preferably now. Great. Now I can somewhat safely cast my Ifrit spells. There we are. That fight alone took like 3-4 minutes. 3 minutes. Three more treasures. Silver trimmed sacks. I think those are new. I don't think we had those earlier. That's a lot of money, I think. And I don't even have that. Nice. And gloves. It's like consistent that every run, every set is gonna be some items and then an armor piece, primarily for Dragoon. I do think I have that specific set of gloves actually. Yep, those are the ones that I use. Interesting. Well, let's see what those items we got are worth. Well, let me see here. Got the gloves. Okay. But do they sell for that? They actually sell for that. That's crazy. This is good too. On this. I'm surprised the gloves are the most valuable item here. we go back. And we actually, so far we've earned like 100 sustaining potions since we started today. I feel like it's gonna get really difficult now, and I'm getting kind of exhausted. So it would be a shame to lose the run after just 10 more floors because I make a mistake. So I think it's gonna be no more Palace of the Dead now. Are there anyone in the stream? I wonder. According to my overview, it's no one. Either way, I don't know, Skullwolf. It's pretty interesting. Did you know that the YouTube live streaming overview is kinda interesting with how it counts viewers? So it's not entirely. I don't know how many are actually seeing this. So I don't know. But okay. Yeah, what I'm getting at is that I think I'm gonna stop here, and then we continue another time. I think that's the plan. So thank you for watching, and thank you for hanging out in the chat. And then we hope next time I stream the Palace of the Dead that I haven't completely forgotten what to do. Would be an awkward way to end it, to just die immediately on floor 131 because I underestimate an enemy. Anyway, thank you, and I'll be ending the stream in like a minute or so, in case there's any like final questions or messages. Yep. Well, thank you everybody for watching. See you like next week. Next week I'll be streaming a different day than Saturday because I don't have time on the Saturday. And we'll be doing something a little bit different. Please look forward to it. Bye.